Hello, everyone. When you were in school, did you ever have a teacher that you just really admired? Well, my name is Sarah Sackett, and back when I was in high school, I had a teacher that I absolutely adored. Today, I'm going to be doing a commemorative speech for my high school teacher, Mr. Magee. Now, back when I was in high school, I wasn't in a normal high school per se. I was homeschooled for the most part, but I did have a couple of classes at the school, and one of those classes I took was at this special building called the Genesee Career Institute, or GCI. GCI was a building that had a bunch of smaller classrooms with special equipment dedicated to giving you specific skills so that you could jump straight into the job field. They had classes for cooking, classes for graphic design, and the class I was in, computer technology. The particular class was computer hardware, but that's not important to the focus. My teacher's name was Mr. Robert Magee. He was a little taller than I am, and he had a very fun personality that made it really interesting to learn in his classroom. Now, with a computer class, you'd expect it to be kind of boring. I mean, you're sitting at a desk most of the time tapping away at a program while you read about parts you've never seen before in your life. It wasn't as hands-on as I was expecting, although in my second year at that school, a couple of my classmates managed to build a computer in a toaster oven. I'm never going to question how they did that, but it was very cool, and I'm very happy that our teacher allowed us to do so. But Mr. Magee made that boring and basic environment a lot more fun. He would have special times where he would get up in front of the whiteboard and help write things out for us to work with. He had wires and cables in the back along with connectors and tools so that we could make our own cables basically, but not in the sense of making them from scratch, more in the sense of cutting the lengths and then adding them into the connectors by putting them in a certain order. He also had these little foam balls on his desk that he would occasionally throw at students if they were sleeping or being disruptive in class. One time I got permission to use one and accidentally nailed somebody really hard, but we're not going to talk about that. In my second year at that class, the teacher also allowed us again to build the PC in the toaster oven as a display to go out in the hallway. He also had this little monkey plushie that he would throw at people instead of the foam balls, because apparently he got in trouble for that. And on top of all this, when we were making the toaster computer, he actually allowed us to get up, leave the classroom, go walk all the way to the welding class, and ask them to help us build this. I think they took certain parts out so that we could insert the computer pieces, but your average teacher doesn't do that kind of thing. He also entered in a lot of humor into the classroom in the lectures and the things that we were learning. An example of one of the things I really liked was this joke that one kid had made back when he used to let you write your own names into Kahoot. This kid named himself 6.7 inches, and the teacher was like, "Hey man, you can't do that." And he's like, "Well, why not? It's the length of a mini ITX motherboard." That's the name of how big it is, by the way. Like how far this way and this way the motherboard is. And my teacher thought that was really funny, so he would retell this every time we were working on that lecture because it makes it easier to remember that length. At the end of the year, as a gift to him, I made him a mug in a different class I was in that had that very same joke on it. I'm sure he appreciated it. But all in all, I really enjoyed my class with Mr. Magee. He brought humor into the classroom, he let us do things most teachers probably wouldn't consider safe for you to do, and he made the overall learning experience a lot more fun and interesting, especially for as boring of a class as it was. Thank you for listening to me talk about my teacher, Mr. Magee, and I will see you all another time.